So Jens, this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I like this camera actually.
Yeah, it's very nice. We've been waiting to get this FS7 and we've worked on a couple configurations on how to rig it, and let's show them what we got. The idea of the camera is sort of a cinema verite camera. Okay, this is now a cinema verite camera. There's a couple inherent problems in that camera, and it's the same problem that we have with every camera where you try to build a shoulder pad into the camera, and the problem is that
it's too far back usually for the balance point.
Yeah, the way we have this configured, the camera is behind your shoulder.
Again, it's about where the lens meets the camera body.
Right.
And that's where I've placed the shoulder pad, right about there, and it balances out beautifully.
Yeah, as you can see in this graphic, depending on the size, lens, and camera, the camera slides back and forward, and so does the relationship to your EVF. Let's talk about the different ways that we can configure this. Right now, this camera is perfectly balanced, and it's a nice camera.
Nice and small. It's pretty light in itself, but you still have to balance it. Even if it's a light camera, people might think, you know, you don't have to worry about the balance as much. But the minute you put a heavy lens on, especially compared to a light camera, you're going to have that front heavy problem again.
Well, we don't even have a heavy lens on this. We have a very light lens, and the balance point is approximately where the lens meets the camera body.
Yeah.
So what are we doing different with this?
Well, on top here, we're using actually their rod that goes through their handle. It's a 50mm rod, but we're using one of our swivels, which then connects to our Access Mini. That gets you to the Gradical or another EVF.
What we've done is there's a couple inherent problems with this camera. One is they sort of have this stick that comes straight down this rod, which makes it so that in order to balance the camera, their EVF is in the shot.
If you extend it even. I think the one it comes with, that rod's even a little short, but it ends up getting in the shot of the wide angle lenses.
Well,
plus it's in too close too. You could never use a matte box with it.
Yeah, you can see we're jogging out here a good 4 inches, and that's the design of our Access allows you to do that. Now by loosening this lever, you can remove the whole thing really quickly, which is real nice for going into the case.
The other nice thing about using a separate viewfinder like this on here is that it frees up this monitor to be used as an outside monitor for looking at your menus, or if you need to get your head away from the viewfinder and still frame your shot, like if you're holding it over your head.
No, it's great. It's an onboard, and it comes with it, and it actually has really nice resolution. We have it set up with this little Micro Zicro. You know, it can pop on and off super fast, that you could take it off when you're going handheld, but it's so light you could just leave the thing on there if you wanted. It's really nice. You have a monitor and an EVF.
And by using this, it doesn't use up any extra SDI ports either. You're using the viewfinder port, so you still have a free SDI and an HDMI.
And you pick up an SDI here as well.
The out there, right.
You've got your control grip, love that. Camera seems really light.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. It's actually a really nice, tight package.
Here would be the camera rosette, which would put that grip right about here, which would be unusable. We have two different rosette options. The rosette option 1 are the VCT base plate rosettes, which bolt onto the side of the VCT plate and kind of wrap around the actual VCT 14 quick release plate. The second option is the Rosette Mini Mount, which slides on the rods and actually gives you a little bit more adjustability because you can move it in, you can move it out, you can flip it upside down. They have interchangeable rosettes. There are two types of rosettes. One has an M6 thread in the center, the other has a 1/4-20 thread in the center. The FS7 control grip has a M6 rosette.
Now, the Sony FS7 Recoil is seen here with the Gradical HD EVF, but it can also be rigged with the FS7's monitor and loop viewfinder. Because the monitor and loop are much wider and longer than the Gradical, the Access Mini is essential in keeping the monitor out of the camera's field of view. The large size of the Sony monitor and loop can also cause problems because it makes you turn your head out or forces you to slide the rig to the edge of your shoulder. What's nice about this camera and what we've done with it is we haven't really gone crazy and added a lot of things that are unnecessary because it kind of has what you need basically. It's got 2 screw holes available so that we could mount our arm on here with our Micro Zicro. You kind of want to keep this handle because it has electronics in it.
Well, especially because it has that wireless control.
Yeah, the wireless control, but also start and stop in the zoom. So there's really no need to replace that.
Of our 6 parts, you know, like we've been doing, we've only included the base plate and the axis. And we've added a swivel, which people probably have.
It adapts it to their rod, and then here we have the Micro Zicro in the arm if you want to do this.
But other people may have arms as well to do that.
True.
So
right.
we really, like you said, we've only added 2 or 3 components to this, but what we've done is we've balanced this. And that's everything. If you, especially if you want what they call a cinema verite camera, it needs to be balanced. So here we go, our setup for the FS7.